All right, you guys, Wes here. Welcome back to another Battlefield 2042 video. And today we are going to be talking about the new update for the game, as well as Season 1, which, if you guys did not know, is rumored to release in March of 2022. So we're going to talk about all of the news regarding the Season 1 update, as well as the new update that should be releasing sometime next week. As it currently stands, we have not had an update for this game since December 9th of 2021, which is pretty wild to me considering the fact that it is already January 15th and we have still not gotten any update news or EA and DICE addressing the community and talking about the future updates. Thus far, it has been pretty much radio silence, besides the weekly missions, the cosmetic reward for that weekly mission, and the portal featured experiences. At this current point, DICE and Ripple Effect have had so much time to work on the next update that it better be a substantial one. And I'm not talking about just bug fixes, I'm talking optimization for the game and other quality of life improvements to the HUD and the UI and the menu system that should have been implemented at the launch of the game. Furthermore, with them having since December 9th to January 15th, I would expect to see legacy features, as they call it, return to the game, like a voice chat and a scoreboard. But on the other hand, if it takes them longer than a month to release a scoreboard, then maybe we've got bigger problems to worry about. My ideal timeline for the next update is obviously going to be next week, but the fact that communication has been so non-existent lately, I don't even know if DICE plans to put out an update next week. At this point, the only update that we know about is something happening in March of 2022 with supposedly Season 1. I have done my absolute best to stay positive about my outlook regarding Battlefield 2042, but the facts do not lie. If the communication was where it was before the developers took a holiday break, then I probably would be in a much better state. But as it stands right now, I feel like there is no sense of urgency. EA and DICE have still not addressed the community. There has been consumers that have spent $100 on this game, which I've assumed they've probably already refunded already, but there's some people like me who have spent $100 on this game, and I honestly feel like I've been duped. From everything that we've seen with the marketing for Battlefield 2042, I genuinely thought this game was in a good state. The Exodus short film looked incredible. The gameplay trailers showed off a different picture than what I thought, and even during the technical alpha and the beta, I just was on full-blown copium. I should have known better, and it's my fault for thinking that way, but I really thought the beta was just that, a beta that was such an old build, and the full game would have the Battlefield polish that we've known to appreciate over the years. But once again, I was unfortunately burned. The only path for redemption for Battlefield 2042 is this: the next update has got to release next week, and we have to have communication from EA and DICE with a formal apology to the fans and the consumers of this game. If we go into Wednesday next week and there is not a Battlefield briefing that, one, apologizes for the current state of the game, and two, outlines the patch notes for the update releasing on Thursday. If we do not get an update next week, then I can pretty much guarantee that the support for this game will dwindle and the community will continue to leave and the player base will shrink even more, bringing a catastrophic end to Battlefield 2042. EA, DICE, this is a message for you. I really love the Battlefield franchise and I want to love Battlefield 2042, but the only way that that happens is with the same communication level that you guys had before the holiday break. I want to see a weekly Battlefield briefing, and I want you guys to talk about your current struggles with the game. If you're upfront and honest with your struggles, then people will be understanding. I myself personally know that 128 players on a server has likely made things more challenging to accomplish than how it used to be on a 64 player server. But unless you're upfront with your struggles, how is anyone supposed to be understanding? I really want to stay positive about this game, but there's been so many things that have just compounded that I'm almost at my breaking point with the game in general. But that all could change with just a little bit of communication. And I'm not just talking about in the form of Battlefield briefings and tweets from Battlefield Direct.com. I'm talking about developers interacting and engaging with the player base and addressing their concerns directly. Drunksy has done an incredible job, as well as Marcus Leto, in interacting with the community, and I really hope that continues and is even ramped up. I'm still with this game for the long run, and I will continue to support the developers. I just really hope that next week we see that sense of urgency return that the developers had from before they went on holiday vacation. Next up, I'd like to shift focus to what could be the first content update for Battlefield 2042, and that is Season 1. So currently, as it stands, Season 1 is set to release sometime in March, or at least that is what the leaked information and data mines have stated, although I really hope that's incorrect. But since we haven't had an update since December 9th, and it's already January 15th, I can easily see them waiting until March to release any sort of new content to the game. If you would have told me a live service game like, let's say, Call of Duty would not release any new content until March the next year, I would call you absolutely crazy, because that would never happen in a million years. But that is unfortunately the sad reality of Battlefield 2042. And currently the March March date could also be pushed back as well. With the state of how Battlefield 2042 launch, I could easily see them pushing back the first content update even further out to ensure they could get the game to where it should have been at launch. I honestly don't think that would be the case. In my opinion, I think they've already got season 1 probably already planned out in terms of content. They likely stripped that from the main game that they originally developed, so they will likely be able to make that March deadline if indeed that is the case. Now here is where I think Battlefield 2042 might be tied up with the development, and that is in the form of cosmetics. It's pretty obvious that Battlefield 2042's main goal is to sell cosmetic items. We've seen that with many of the skins they've showcased. Even the current McKay skin almost looks like an outfit that should be in a battle pass. And furthermore, with the introduction of a battle pass, I feel like the developers are having to crunch more time and effort into cosmetic items than they've had to do in the past, which has likely tied up a lot of development time. So who knows, maybe the seasonal structure that Battlefield 2042 had is the reason the game launched in the state that it did. At the end of the day, BF 2042 needed more time in the oven, and we are dealing with the result of them not wanting to release the game after the holiday season because they did not want to miss those holiday sales. But guys, that is going to wrap it up with today's Battlefield 2042 news. If you like this video, do me a favor and leave a like, subscribe to my channel with your notifications on, and don't forget to check back again tomorrow for another Battlefield 2042 video.